job.
It is. I believe construction is a very difficult game to be in, but it's a very, very rewarding game, isn't it? There's always a lot of things going wrong, but there's always a lot of things going smooth. In fact, I just recently had an occurrence with a mate of mine who is a builder and, you know, runs a bit of a construction company himself. And he's got one project on the go, right? He had one project on the go, right? And he had a couple guys working for him, and he had a bad experience with this one client. And that's, you know, 100% of his work with one bad client.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, the mind, when you think about it, or the mindset of that, you're like, fuck, everything that I'm doing is wrong. Whereas the way I look at it is with me and my guys, you know, we got 11 on the books plus subbies, you know, we generally have 13, 14 jobs on the go. If there's a couple bathroom renos and a few smaller jobs, it can be anywhere from up to 16 or 17. But say if I got 15 jobs on the go, I generally have, you know, sort of, I don't really get many bad clients, but I get a couple, you know, that are complaining about things, or, you know, need to adjust things, or, you know, this and that. And it can't affect me because I've always got, you know, minimum 10 that are super stoked with their projects, the way they're running. So I look at it like the more you can do, and the more people you can keep happy will outweigh a couple bad people that, you know, come through and try and give you a bit of a hard time for it.
Yeah, they'll always exist. Bad clients that's what I learned in business. Not all clients are good.
Like when we've had this conversation before, I think it's in every industry.
Yeah, 100% it is.
Every single.
I'm talking about clients complaining in a bad way, like if they've got
shit going wrong.
If shit's going wrong, 100%, I'm meaning that. But if somebody's being unfair, or they're giving you a really bad attitude, attitude is the worst thing. There's clients that I say, hey mate, I don't want to speak to you anymore. You make my day terrible every time I speak to you. Let's go through email. You'd have to do that a few times, would you?
I've been through the worst of it.
Oh, I've done that. I'm doing that now. I never used to.
You said it to someone?
I've had to say it to people. Yeah, I've had to say, mate, like we're here to do the job. Let's do things through email. You're a very draining person to speak to, and let's, you know, work this out for emails, because whatever you say doesn't get through their head, and you got to do, you know, things the thorough way. But
that's just everything in life, man. Like there's always that person you know what I mean? There's always that one person who wants more. I was talking to a guy the other day, and I go to him. He wanted a different. He wasn't happy with the price we put forward, and I said, "Do you want more, or do you want to pay less?" And he's like, "I want both." I said, "So how it works." Like, do you know what I mean? We can't do that. And there's always, whatever you work, there's always going to be someone who either wants you to do more, or they want to pay less. Do you know what I mean? And you just, I think it comes down to your ability to handle those clients, or choose not to work with them.
Yeah. We have a pretty regimented screening process. Like I turn down people when I'm doing jobs now. If I feel that you're going to be a difficult client,
dude, it's never worth the outcome.
Yeah,
like the headache you go through. You're like, this job wasn't worth it. Yeah, the money we made is not worth it. You've done my fucking face in.
Yeah.
And it's like, this has not been worth it at all. If I could go back in time, I would not do it. And then I always tell people, I said, the reason why you take on those jobs is because you don't have enough leads.
And that's the thing.
That's right. Yeah,
that's the thing.
Because if you got options,
I'm turning down jobs. I'm giving people jobs that, you know, we just can't get to. Talking about that with clients, I just recently had this experience about 6 or 7 months ago. I was doing this big deck extension. The scope of works was, you know, 110 grand. That's quite big for a deck, you know. Absolutely. That's quite an expensive deck. It was a big deck with nice big handrail off the ground, you know, had plans and everything sorted. She paid a deposit, and you know, from the time she paid the deposit to the starting of her job, she was phone calls that were, you know, harassing or, you know, annoying some of the guys that I sent around there to sort of, you know, check a couple of measurements and that. They were like, well, this lady's hard to deal with, you know, and especially if it's coming from your staff, that's the worst thing that you can do. You know, I don't mind if they're a little bit hard to deal with me, or they want to get me in the office and they want to speak, you know, directly about a scope of works. But if it's coming from the team at the very start of the job, I'm like, nah, no way. You know, I had this lady's money in my bank account. I had money sitting there. So I was like, nah, all right, team, we're not dealing with this. Yep. I called up the lady. I said, hey, you know, thank you for the first process with your job. But, you know, look, we're not a good match to each other. What I need you to do is I need you to send me your bank details and I'm going to transfer the money back in your account. Good. And that happened.
Yeah, good. You're completely right with that. And we've even got it in our contracts as well, where I've written it in there now that clients that they need to respect the working hours of all employees. Like you can only make contact for all our employees between the hours of 7 and 5:30 p.m. every single Monday to Friday. That's it. Any contact outside of those hours are emergencies only. All right. And even then, what's an emergency? Oh, my house is on fire. Why are you calling me? Call the fire brigade. I'm not coming there with a bucket.
Yeah.
All right. Get your shit together.
Yeah.
So it's about coming back to what you said a little bit earlier with the bad clients. There's also a process of pre-framing them so they understand the process as well. Like a lot of people would say, oh, wow, like I didn't know. No one's ever told me not to call them outside of hours. They see their builder like, oh, well, I can call you any single time I want. Hang on, no. Do you call your accountant at 10 p.m.? Do you call your barber at 10 p.m.? Do you call your kid's teacher, you know what I mean, at 10 p.m. or 9 p.m. or send them abusive messages? Of course not. Then there's a barrier here. Don't cross it. And I find that whenever that happens, when you have that conversation really early on in the piece and set the boundaries with payments, with communication, with all of these things, and they sign it, well, then it's a rule. Like it's subconsciously they go, well, I have to obey the rules. You know, if I don't, there's consequences. And I applaud you for doing that and giving her the money back, because I'm sure in a $120,000 deck, there was some decent margin in that. And what is it, probably a 3-4 week job?
Yeah.
You could make some good coin in that time.
Yeah.
But I promise you, like you would have gone through that process. She wouldn't have been happy with the board. She wouldn't have been happy with this. She wouldn't have been happy with that. You'd probably still be fighting for the last payment.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Tell there was already going to be a problem.
That's right. That's right. And if you're talking like that disrespectfully to your employees, pulling the pin's a massive thing. My dad's done that in the past as well. He had a $4 million, a $3 or $4 million build that he was doing before working with me. And same thing, he got the guy up to the base stage. So he did his footings. And then he just said, listen, I'm out, because the guy kept coming in and wanting to build, like do shit. And my old man said, listen, I'm not here to hold your hand whilst you build the house, because I'm the builder, I'm running the show. You're not coming in. Don't bring people in. Like, I don't want that. And the guy kept doing it. And he goes, look, no worries. Thanks for your help. I'm out. And he goes, I'll get you to base stage and you can take it on after that. He goes, no, Steve, I'm sorry. No, but please come back. He goes, no, fuck off.
Not worth it.
Like no, exactly. He goes, it wasn't worth it. And he was going to make good money on that job, but he goes, no, I'm not interested. I need to move on, because I can see the issues that are going to happen from this point on. Yeah. All right. And then he just left.
There's a million other people to do jobs out there for.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Don't you think everyone knows though?
Everyone knows what?
When the client is not right and like, this is going to be difficult.
Yeah.
But like, credit to you for being in a position. No, because they will convince themselves otherwise.
Yeah, sometimes you can't work and you don't work it out until the job's sort of commenced. So I feel like I get better at working these clients out.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially if I'm doing a major job. In fact, I just had a phone call this was an hour and a half ago on the way here. I had a phone call from a guy who wants major renovations and extension done. You know, this is a $300,000 to $400,000 job out in Yakandanda. And
where?
Yakandanda, about 15, 20 minutes from where I live.
Yakandanda, have you ever heard of that?
I've been there multiple times.
Yeah. Go there every weekend.
Go there
before I even get this guy involved, you know, because we're only just getting into doing extensions and renovations, before I actually get this guy involved with my draftsman and my admin and my team now, I feel as if, you know, I'm going to, from the experiences that I've just had, I feel as if what I've said to him is, hey, mate, like, you're all right. Awesome. Let's catch up. Let's see if we're a right fit to do the job together, and then let's go from there, you know? So then I can sort of feel that.
Yeah, you can pre-frame.
With a lot of the smaller jobs that, you know, bathroom renos and that, you can sort of get away with them a little bit more. You know, you can go there with your team and take them on as long as they sign a new contract, and that it's not going to be too much of a lengthy experience. But anyone's
kind of in and out,
especially because it's going to be all Luke. Everybody wants all Luke when they're big jobs, you know, because I'm there from the start, you know, and genuinely coming in daily, every couple of days to check how things are rolling. If it's going to be a job like that, I'm definitely going to make sure it's the right fit. I'm going to meet the guy before he meets anyone in the team. And the first things are, if he looks in the eyes, he's honest and he shakes your hand hard, let's go to the next step.
That's your qualifying process, huh?
It's part of it. It's a big thing, part of it. You know, I feel like honesty, and I feel like, you know, genuine people are what I want to be involved in. So it's part of my, you know, first couple steps of doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, without a doubt, it's something, and it's good that you've got a process in. I think for you, it's just a matter of elaborating on that a little bit more, because there's going to be a lot of people. There's going to be a lot of people that'll shake your hand, look at you straight in the eye, and lie to your face.
Yeah,
there'll be a lot of people like that you'll come across, and it won't. It's okay now. You're doing the $100,000 jobs, the $50,000 jobs, but when you do the $2.2 million job, and they look at you and they smile at you, and they say thank you, appreciate you, and then they rob you blind.
A lot more things that can go wrong with them, hey?
Well, it's not that those bigger problems, it's not more money, more problems aspect. Yeah. It's just
a bigger liability.
That's right. That's right. And then if you have just gone on the basis, well, I shake people's hands, I do the right thing. I love this saying, it's like being angry at a lion for eating you because you didn't eat it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Yeah. No,
that's a good saying.
But it's so true. Like, I'm angry at the lion. Why? Because it ate me. I'm like, why?
Well, I didn't eat it. Yeah.
I like hearing what you have to say. You're very protected of yourself and of your time.
I have to be.
Of the company.
And look,
that's
I only
still
say
a big
that
thing that I'm working out as I'm going.
Yeah, I only say that from experience.
Yeah.
You know, I've been doing this for a little bit longer than you now. And I look at that and I go, I was of the same mindset. No, I'm going to do the right thing by customer's always right. You've heard the saying, customer's always right?
Yeah.
You know, that's part of the saying?
That's what they say, yeah.
It's part of, do you know what the second part of that is?
Customer's always right? No, what is it?
The customer's always right in matters of taste.
Matters of taste.
So if you want, that's how the saying goes. If your client wants pink floors and orange ceilings, absolutely, I can do that for you. But if your client tells you, no, you need to paint the floor with a demo saw, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, what? No, you're not right. So the customer's always right is just that part of the saying is just an excuse for people to treat an owner badly, you know, a business owner badly or an employee badly. No, it's bullshit. The customer isn't always right in matters of taste. If you want something a certain way, yeah, absolutely, we can do that. But if you're coming in telling me how to run my business, acting disrespectfully, not fulfilling your obligations, then no, you're not right. And that's what I look at it as these days, because I've been burnt on projects in the past because I do the right thing, but they don't.
Yeah.
It happens more often than not, unfortunately. Yeah. And then as the builder, you get the bad rap.
Yeah.
Dodgy builder, as they say in this country.
Yeah.
But when you start to protect yourself more so, you end up attracting the right people. And that's what I found too, because I was going through that process where we had like 5 shit clients in a row. It's like, where did you all come from? And they're all COVID clients too, all the ones during COVID. So whether they went crazy over COVID themselves, which is probably a contributing factor. I think some people lost their mind during that time, and construction was really difficult during that time. And they ended up going crazy. But now I look at all of my clients, they're fantastic human beings. But that's been a result of the screening process that I've taken to ensure I'm working with the right people.
Structured, you've been able to set up to sort of guide them
100%.
From the first consultation till the signing the contract.
That's right. That whole process is massive.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
that whole
customer experience too, right?
It's customer experience, absolutely. From the very beginning, from the time they pick up the phone and say, hey, I have a job here. That's when it begins.
Yeah.
Not halfway through the project. We've got a client relationship now.
I reckon it begins even before that. It begins when they look at your website, look at your socials, look at, you know what I mean? That's when it all begins to. Because they're like, what do these guys look like?
Their first impressions.
That's right.
What's this guy all about? Yeah.
We've won so much work over the years, purely because of the brand that we built.
Yeah.
You know, it was funny. My wife was telling me we were talking this morning, we're having a conversation. She's like, the conversation came up about selling the company. And I'm like, yeah, I would sell. I go, it'd need to be an 8-figure offer. And she's like, what? She goes, that's crazy. Why would you do it? I go, no. Like, that's at least where it's got to begin. Because
it's crazy that you'd sell it, or it's crazy?
Less.
She wants you to sell it for less.
No. She was like, why did I sell it for $500,000? Like,
what?
It's a brand that you've built behind.
That's right. I go, no, you forget what it takes to have a company set up like this. And I go, also, I've got a lot of intellectual property.
Yeah.
There is a lot of systems, procedures, things in this business that tick that others don't have.
Yeah.
And then also the brand. Okay, the brand behind it has got a really good name in the industry now, that it has a level of trust that people just look at the socials, which Robby manages for us, and Robby's team does. And it's like, well, yeah, why wouldn't I build with these people? And it's directly resulted in millions of dollars of revenue in the business because we invest in brand. And then that's why, like, we always talk about it. Like, I find it crazy how people struggle to be creating content. They go, because it's not crazy. They don't see the immediate result. That's the problem with it. They want to post a video, it go viral, and then 43 people call them up and sign contracts that night.
Yeah, that's like wanting to do sit-ups and then get up and you got a six-pack. And it's like...
Exactly.
That's not how this game works.
Yeah.
That's not as... But you're right, brand equity, man. I think you can't put a dollar sign on that, right?
Yeah, with the social media.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click just over here. Or if you want to watch the full episode, you can click over here. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching.